Most of our responders have to respond from home or work. And so, being the police are out and about all the time, they're typically going to arrive. And immediately, as soon as a police officer sees a crash, they want to start to try and figure out what happened, especially if the circumstances show that there really would be no reason for this crash to happen in the first place. So they may immediately start thinking, am I looking at an impaired driver situation? Am I looking at a distracted driver situation? They'll start looking for signs of that. So as they approach the vehicle to make contacts with both drivers of the vehicles, they're going to check for injuries first. Our first concern, obviously, is someone's safety. So they're going to check with the driver of the blue van first and determine that there are no injuries in this vehicle. So the partner is going to go over to the other vehicle and check those folks for injuries. And as the officer's at the door of the vehicle, he may start to see some signs of impairment. You probably can't hear, but maybe some slurred speech, maybe an odor of alcohol, maybe bloodshot, watery eyes, maybe poor manual dexterity, slow muscle movement.
Alex.
When officers ask for something as simple as a driver's license, many times that wallet will come out and those fingers are not doing what they normally should do. So even fine motor skills like that become obvious that there could be impairment for a driver. So these are all things the officer is going to be looking for. The fire department has been notified, and typically their response would be, like I said, from home or work, and they're going to respond to the station, get their gear in their truck, and respond to the scene. As the firefighters begin to assess the patients, they're going to talk to them from a point where the patients can see them. And they're going to be reminded to keep their head in a neutral position so they're not turning right or left, because we don't know if they've injured their spine. And then a rescuer will be assigned to the victims in the car, and that rescuer will simply be there as a liaison to them to let them know what we're doing, because we obviously can't simulate the damage to the car, but today we're pretending as though the doors are not simply we can walk up and open them. The vehicle's damaged to the point where the doors are stuck, and we have to do some cutting to get into the vehicle. We're obviously going to take the easiest way out. No, we're not going to show up at your nice car and cut your doors open if we don't have to. So as you can see, the rescuer is climbing in behind the victims, and again, that person's just going to be there to say, keep your head straight ahead, don't look right or left, these are the sounds you're going to hear. If we have to take out a window of the car, we're going to cover you with a blanket, so we're going to protect you from any glass. And basically, you can see the rescuers are getting in behind the victims, and they're going to just take hold of their head, and more just kind of a reminder not to move your head right or left. So, once the rescuers have the patients stabilized and hopefully a little relaxed, then the crew can get in and assess what they need to do to get the car open. And again, as those rescuers are in there, they're also going to be doing an assessment on the patients to see who's the most severely injured. Police and fire have special tools manufactured to easily take out windows, as you're probably witnessing now. You can see the driver or passenger side window. They allow us to easily access the vehicle to get that glass out of the way. And those side windows in vehicles are safety glass. They're made to turn into tiny little pieces so there are no large shards to hurt someone. The windshield is laminated on both sides, so those pieces, if the windshield does break, that windshield would not fly into the driver. So the windshield is not at all like the side window of the car. Dave is a firefighter for Maple Plains Fire Department. What he did first is do a vertical expansion of the jaws of life there to create an opening at the back of the door so he can insert the jaws in between the door and what we call the P-pillar. The pillar is what's directly behind you when you're seated in that seat. That's what the seatbelt connects to. And we want to get the jaws, the tip of the jaws right in at the locking mechanism so we can pop that door. That's what Dave's doing now. And as you can see, we have a firefighter just tight right next to Dave. She is just stabilizing the door so we know that that door is not going to pop open and excessively move the car any more than we already are. The thing that we're not doing as a visual demo here today is we do not have the vehicle blocked with blocks, but normally we would put wood blocks underneath the vehicle to stabilize it for moving. We carry a series of wedges on all of our trucks so we can support the vehicle, because as we start to cut it apart, back in 70s, 80s when unibody car design started, that vehicle's stability is based on all of its parts being intact. So as soon as we start cutting it apart, we wreck that system. So we do want to stabilize the vehicle as well. So now, if you're over on the west side of the car here, again, they're going to do a vertical expansion of the jaws to get access into that crack at the back of the door so you can get to the locking mechanism. Okay, so the passenger has been assessed and apparently has more severe injuries than the driver, which is why they went to that side of the vehicle first. So now they're going to put the passenger onto a backboard, and basically that's just to maintain that spinal alignment in the event there is an issue or any damage to the spinal cord. So basically they're going to move, they're going to put on a seat collar or a cervical collar, which is what they're doing right now. And again, they'll be explaining all this to the person so they know what we're doing. If they're conscious, even if they're unconscious, we're still going to be talking to them in the event they can still understand what we're saying.
You want to go talk to Tom? Tell him where you want to do the field sobriety.
As we extricate the people out of the vehicle, I'm going to turn the mic over to the official police officer here, and he's going to explain a little bit about the field sobriety test.
As we explained earlier, that the driver of the secondary vehicle is intoxicated, so the two officers here are going to escort him outside the vehicle and do a series of field sobriety tests.